Welcome to Massanutten Regional Library's online book talk. I'm Mr. Randy. This week we're going to be looking entirely at hockey books. The first one is called That's Hockey by David Bouchard. I was alone on goal, me against Tooth. I raced forward and in one moved, faked left and shot right. Tooth went down and I fired the ball over his left shoulder. I scored! This book describes the excitement of a weekend spent with your cousin playing outdoor road hockey. First you clear the street, next you improvise a goal, then it's game on for hours and hours of non-stop hockey. Everyone plays their hearts out. It's hustling, checking, and scoring galore. This wonderful tradition of street hockey is ultimately passed on from parent to child in a surprise ending that will make you smile. And you'll also notice the number 9 jersey that the child's wearing. That's for Maurice Rocket Richards, who had an 18-year career and 8 Stanley Cups with the Montreal Canadiens, along with a selection of 14 all-star teams. So if you like hockey or you just like surprise endings, definitely check out That's Hockey. Our second book today is Sports Illustrated Kids, Then to Wow. It's a traditional Sports Illustrated book, and the fact that it shows us lots of figures, timelines, photos. It takes fans of all interest levels on an exciting journey from hockey's origins in the late 1800s to the modern era, with engaging quotes, personalities, pictures. It really does have it all. This is just one spread of the showing the evolution of sticks from the 1800s to the 2000s, from a solid piece of wood to carbon fiber. It shows the evolution of the puck over various years, even stuff that we might think of as mundane, but the sweaters from different teams from early days to modern times. Some of the most colorful characters in hockey, from the 1930s up to Brent Burns, who just has the world's greatest smile. Has that traditional hockey smile. So if you love hockey, this is the kind of book when you're 10 years old, you'll sit down and binge to memorize all the facts. But if you're like me and you came to hockey later in life as an adult, it's a great way to catch up and a great way to learn about those colorful characters, coaches, all the little things that makes hockey so great. So check out Sports Illustrated Kids, Hockey Then to Wow. The third book we'll be looking at is Lake Placid Miracle by Blake Hoena. This graphic novel explores one of the greatest upsets in sports history, the U.S. victory over the Soviet Union at the 1980 Olympics at Lake Placid, New York. This was a long shot of long shot victories. During the 1960s and 1970s, the Soviet team had dominated Olympic play. The 1980 Olympic coach, Herb Brooks, had actually been the last man cut from the 1960 team, but he came back as a coach and melded a ragtag group of amateur college players into an international force. It uses a play-by-play style in this book that really works well in the graphic novel format. In the third period, Sweden had taken a 2-1 lead with less than a minute left in the game. Brooks made a desperate move. What's this? Brooks has pulled Craig from the goal, giving Team USA 6 skaters on the ice. Schneider fights for puck near the boards, and the pass is to Baker, who takes a shot at the goal. Wow, Baker ties up the game with just 27 seconds to go. An early loss could have dashed the U.S. team's chances of reaching the medal round, but the 2-2 tie with Sweden kept hopes alive. So it very much has that old style, or if you ever listen to sports on the radio, where it has that play-by-play feel. This book, I think that just works so nicely with the graphic novel format. It's broken down into 6 bite-sized chapters, plus a glossary, a read more section, some critical thinking skills questions, and an index. So if you have a child who's interested in hockey or a struggling reader that would enjoy the fast pace, I would say check out Lake Placid Miracle. Our final book today, the original 6, can be found in our adult collection. How the Canadiens, Bruins, Rangers, Blackhawks, Maple Leafs, and Red Wings laid the groundwork for today's NHL by Lew Freedman. First, what this book is not. This book is not necessarily for the diehard fan who has memorized all past hockey history facts, figures, personalities. This is a very readable book, more geared to the casual fans such as myself. It's laid out in 6 sections. Freedman paints a mural of the NHL's rough and tumble origins through the personalities that made each team unique. For instance, George Vezina, the goaltender for Montreal from 1910 to the 1924-25 season, is the man that the Vezina Trophy is named for. A few years after his career ended, a memorabilia collector bought his only pads and cut them into small pieces and sold them in packs of cards for collectors. The book is chock full of cool, unique facts about different people that were important to hockey in these original 6 teams. So he devotes a couple of pages at the end to Victor Lynn, who skated for all 6 of the original 6. And there's a brief history of Don Cherry. I enjoyed learning bits about Don Cherry's career before his work on Hockey Night in Canada, which he was booted from a few years ago for some really unfortunate political statements. But love him or hate him, the guy was the face of Canadian hockey on Saturday nights for a long time. So check this book out. Lots of good stuff, especially if you're not a diehard fan. Very readable. The original 6.